Welcome, welcome. Ziggy 1X here, and we are doing... We're doing a tag team. We are doing anniversary, and we are logging in for the first time. And hopefully maintenance is done. It looks like it's done. So we're going to be getting our 3 new costumes. I'm going to real quickly dive into this, and I'm going to take a look at each of these 3 costumes. So currently I am in the madhouse that is my home. Let's take a look at things. All right, Mama, let's see what you got for us.
Hello.
Hello.
My name is Holly.
All right, we got a new type of event called Fate Boards. Shh, go away.
Hi.
And this will give you a chance to experience everyone's memories. Oh. Okay, interesting. Okay, new ways to enhance weapons. We saw this with the announcements. Alrighty. Got the new event. We got Mocha Joe looking real dapper. Okay. 4-star welfare costume, very nice. And then we've got our 3 main units here. We got Lavania, Udil, and Serapha. Gorgeous costumes. You know it, Mama. All right. Well, let's see what these banners look like. But right now, I'm having internet connection issues. So we're gonna cut it out right now and wait for my internet. We're gonna wait for my internet to come back online. Because
I have 2 tongues.
look at what they did to my internet. Look at what they did to my internet. My boy, what they do to my boy?
My dad has
Oh, there it is. Go away, dog. I got a dog molesting me now. All right. Yep. Looking good, guys.
I wanna dance.
Second anniversary. Mama is simply overjoyed. Oh, and there's our 2. Go away. Yep. Fate boards. Wow, there's so many announcements. Holy moly. Once per days, 280 summons. Okay, let's be off, shall we? Okay, Mama's choice packs. Let's take a look at these real quickly since they just popped up for me. All right, so these are the choice packs. Let's see what this looks like. Okay, 10,000. Adamant, material used to refine weapons. Interesting. So we're gonna have to learn a little bit more about this before we dive into it fully. Okay, so they are valuing 10 adamant right now, compensatory to 5,000 free gems. Okay, let's see what happens with that. And Verse of Truth. So this is also another one. So the Verse of Truth is an item. Hastens character's exaltation. So we need to learn a little bit more about what these things do. Go away. Okay. All right. Got the anniversary pack here. Let's see what we got. Now, the good news for these other items, these adamant and these and the truth item, is that these are very likely going to be something that become available to us throughout the game, since they look like, hey, Hal, stop. Since they look like something that are going to be available throughout the game. So hopefully this is something that replaces these stupid packs here. And this is the bonus one. We saw this already. This is 15,000 gems. So let's just go ahead and back away from this real quickly. This is interesting that they're showcasing this right now. So let's jump over here to our summon banners and see what we got here. Let's look at these characters while I get harassed by my youngest offspring. Okay, so first off, this is the standard banner where we can use our single tickets. This is a step-up banner. Now this is paid only, or is this? No, this is not paid only. Okay, so we got 3 banners. This is good. This means we get to use all of our tickets on this banner right here. We get to use our free gems on this banner right here. And this is for those whales out there who decide to dip in and do some paid step-ups. Alrighty. Outside of that, what else do we have? Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. Okay, so we're probably going to get our next 70 summons at, is it going to be reset tomorrow? It may be reset tomorrow. And that is going to be for either, I think that's going to be for our bloodless costumes. Shh, hush, hush, girl. So let's go ahead and look at these costumes real quickly. This first part is going to be a breakdown of the costumes, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut off this video, and we'll dive in and we'll do some summons just for fun. So let's take a look at our boy here. Udil, he's a tank. Look at those stats. 5,700 defense and 152,000 HP. What a boy. The debris, HP up by 15%. You know what? I don't need that. His character skill, this is very interesting. Decreases all enemy attack by 30%. So he's pulling a Demios right there. And enter a provoke state for 2 turns. So he's a tank who's also debuffing, so he's pulling 2 rolls. Now, by the way, to the best of my understanding, that 30% debuff does stack with Demo's 50% debuff. And so what happens there is that, I believe it's a 50% debuff for Demo, so I'm gonna have to double check that. But what happens is those percentages are stacking and they're really nerfing the ability of the other team for incoming damage. Now this is an arena character primarily, and you can tell because the skill gauge is usable from start. Now it is a skill level B as well, which is very interesting. This is actually faster cooldown than your skill level A. So worth noting there. Enters a provoke state for 2 turns, decreases all enemies' critical hit rate by 50%. This is going to entirely change the way teams are built, oncoming attacking teams are built. Right now, personally, I'm building teams with as close to 100% crit rate as I can in arena. But if this guy's in an opposing team, that team loses most of its usefulness because most of my damage is scaled off of crit damage. And so it means you have to start building your attackers in a little bit different way. This guy is going to upset some metas. So let's continue looking here. That's 50% by 30 seconds only when own affinity is dark. So that means he's going to be, to get the full benefit out of his being tormented by my child, to get the full benefit out of his character skill, he's going to have to be locked to a dark weapon. That means he can use 063Y's greatsword, his EX greatsword, and I'm sure his own weapon will probably be very good for this. But another dark weapon that comes to mind is, again, 063Y, Mocha Joe, the greatsword from the Final Fantasy XIV collaboration, which has a lot of HP on it. It's a very chonky weapon. And also one of its abilities is it creates a provoke state. So it's like double provoke there. All allies HP up by 20%. Holy cow. Holy cow. Stop moving in the table, sweetie. All right, that is awesome. Recover 50% HP when your HP falls below 50% once only. Oh my gosh. And he's a caged vigor unit. This guy's busted. This guy is absolutely busted. Okay. Pick of the banner right here. I don't even have to look at the rest of it. Let's look at his weapon though. Okay. So he has 2 barrier skills on his weapon. That's nice. 19-second cooldown and a 15-second cooldown. Interesting. So those are pretty fast cooldowns. 60% damage 5 times when your character is equipped with their proficient weapon. Reduces that enemy's attack by 30%. By 30 seconds. For 45 seconds, I mean. Interesting new mechanic in the game. So they have to be equipped with their proficient weapon to make that part of it work. That is fascinating. Deal 40% damage to an enemy 3 times and increases all allies' defense by 30%. That is phenomenal. So this guy is just leaning into making your team so doggone tanky. So it has Void Boon and Toughness. I expected the Toughness on there. Okay, wow, what a, holy moly. That is a horrifying character. Okay, let's move on. Serapha, she is a light specialist. Now think of New Year's Yuri or think of Yuletide Griff. They each did damage and they did increase damage on their character skill based off of being equipped with their affinity weapon by their elemental affinity weapon. So let's take a look at her character skill real quickly. 330% damage times 5, damage up by 50% when own affinity is light. So you're taking 50% of that 330, adding it on top again. What is that? 150, 65. So you're up to just shy of 500%. Very, very, very powerful. 5 times, okay? And increases your light damage by 15% for 30 seconds. Incredibly powerful nuke skill. Attack up by 25%. Increases the attack of light affinity weapons by 50% for whole party. Oh, that is not too shabby. Okay, I like that. Not bad. Damage up by 20% when HP is above 70%. So she is going to see maximum usefulness after you get her Awakening 3 because of that 20% damage steroid from the Bold Vigor. Now, let's see what her debris is. Attack up by 15%. I don't want to eat it. I'm talking. I can't eat and talk at the same time. Okay, so that's real. Go, stop it. So that's actually pretty good, but it's not great. If I'm chasing debris, I'm looking for elemental boon or bold or caged vigor. Those are the debris I'm really looking for these days. Let's take a look at her weapon. 100% times 5. When your character is equipped with their proficient weapon. This is interesting. So now they're leaning into characters being equipped with their proficient weapons. This is not something that's happened before. This is new. Your light attack damage is increased by 50% for 15 seconds. That right there is EX grade weaponry right there. That is a powerful skill. 45% damage to one enemy 4 times and increases your attack by 30% for 30 seconds. Okay, interesting. So the second ability isn't nearly as good as what you would, nearly as high damage output as what you would see on an EX weapon, but that first skill, that is powerful. The stats on this spear, 3,400 attack, 2,400 defense, and 28,000 HP. That is a chonky weapon, sweetie. If you do that, it actually interrupts the microphone. You can't do that, okay? All right, anyways, light boon, that was expected. And attack up by 15%. So I'm not sold on the passives for this one. I like the stats, I like the ability, I like the light boon, but I would have rather seen something like a light haste, something that allows her skills to cool down faster. Okay, let's take a look at this next one. This is our last boy, our big boy Lavania. First of all, let's look at his debris. It looks like a Fleetfoot. Its agility up by 15%. So, the good news is that the debris on these units are not, they're not busted. They're fine. These are fine debris, but they're not worth chasing in my opinion. They're not fully worth wailing out for like we did with Celebratory Marie last anniversary. And by the way, depending on how my polls go, I'm going to go pick up a copy of her so I can get that time liquid boon for my arena team. That's going to be great. So this is very interesting. Let's see. This I want to explore a little bit more because I am going to be dipping pretty heavily into this banner. I do not know if the second part is a 2x time chain of 20% or more for the whole party or just for Lavania himself. Just realized I'm wearing this fluffy thing that the little girl gave me. She's a sweet thing. Okay, so deal 380% damage to one enemy 4 times. Damage up by 50% when own affinity is fire. Very powerful. This is basically Fabled Akaha. And increases damage of 2x or more chains by 20% for 30 seconds. I think this is only for him. This leads me to speculate on something. I really suspect that these more challenging dungeons that we're going to be getting are going to include enemies that are really high up there on defense. I think defense is actually going to become a thing, and thus skills that do a lot of damage, and by the way, character skills and weapon abilities that decrease enemy defense are going to become increasingly more important, because before we've just basically been able to nuke our way through challenges. And if we start running into enemies that have obscene levels of defense, even knocking 30% defense off the top of that is going to make a significant difference to the amount of damage we're doing. So between the between the abilities we already have that decrease, that do the light crush, the defense crush, and then these really high multiplier character skills that we're starting to see, that we've been seeing since just after the last anniversary, I really suspect that we're going to be seeing much tougher enemies as far as the amount of damage they can soak up in the form of the defense. So let's take a look here. All right. Very high attack. Wow, that is almost 4,000 attack. Holy moly. He is a fire specialist. He is locked to fire to get the most out of his potential. 60% damage 4 times when your character is equipped with their proficient weapon. Reduce that enemy's defense by 30%. So this leans into what I was talking about. It feels to me like between the decreasing the defense, the obnoxious amount of damage coming out of the character skills, we're going to be seeing tougher enemies with much higher defense. So pay attention to that. These characters that we may have kind of dismissed before, that only have 3 and 4 hit skills but have very high multipliers on them, these actually might start to come into a little bit more prominence because the multipliers are so high. All right, 5 times raises all allies' critical hit rate by 20%. That's fine. Fire damage dealt up and attack up. So I'm noticing a trend here. The flat vigor isn't ideal. This is something that has fallen a little bit out of style with me. But, well, let's see. I think the best pick on this is going to be Udil, especially if you're big into arena. This guy is not just a fabulous tank, but a fabulous debuffer, support unit, and he debuffs the incoming damage of the other team. If he's using a signature weapon, he increases the defense of your own team, and he's got caged vigor, which means he's going to have a little bit of damage potential as well. Granted, most of the damage comes from our costumes character skills, and he doesn't have one that does damage. But if you have him equipped with, for example, Mocha Joe's EX weapon, he's still going to be doing a lot of damage, because remember, one of the passives on that weapon, one of the passive and the active abilities, allows him to scale off of his caged vigor and scale pretty significantly off of this. So I'm just going to leave this here. This is my banner review, and take care. Peace out, y'all. Coming back for another video, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.